Okay, so today's session we are going to focus on PYQs. Okay, previous year questions. Okay, let's keep the questions to the end, Palak. I'll finish the session. Whatever doubts you get related to the session or just related to exam also, just keep a note of it. I'll address all the questions at the end of the session. Okay, from now on. Today we are going to see three, four things, but all are in relation to PYQs only. So in PYQs, if you see, there are few types of questions which are asked. Even though there are like hundreds types of questions are there, but in UGC-NET only 5 or 6 types of questions are repeated. Okay. Second thing is that how to approach these questions. ये questions को कैसे approach करना है? Like assertion and reason questions approach करना तरीका अलग होता है. Whereas match the following type questions, it's completely different. Okay. So what is the technique? What is the trick which is used to solve that question in the minimum time possible? That we will see. Then obviously time management we will see. Hands-on training, I'm not sure we'll be able to do because time come hai. But I'll tell you the techniques here so that you can go practice at your, almost I think all of you have PYQs with you. So you can practice with that. Next is handling repetitive questions. Just a minute. Yeah. So handling repetitive questions, these and all we are going to see today. So first, one thing you have to understand. Why we stress this much? हम क्यों इतना परेशान होते हैं PYQs के बारे में? Why so much? There are a few things you have to understand. Okay, so previous year questions से हमको see few things we get to understand. One thing is what are the topics which are repeatedly asked, जो frequently बार it is asked in the exam. That you can understand only if you study PYQs, only if you have a look of PYQs. Second thing is that जब आपको few topics frequent आ रहा है, when you note that thing, you can also note that a few topics are never asked. Okay, a few you know the syllabus of paper 2 is extensive, and please understand all the things that we are going to speak about today, it is related to paper 2 only. These tricks or techniques, all of them will not apply to paper 1. So try to stick to paper 2 only when you try to understand examples and all. Try to think of paper 2 examples. Okay, so first one, as I said, आपको frequently जो topics बार आता है, you can try to understand them. First thing. Second thing is that you see that a few topics are asked again and again. So obviously there will be few topics which are never asked, है ना? So when you have time restrictions, or maybe when you're doing revision at the end, it is okay if we leave out a few topics. It's okay if we don't study a few topics. But आपको वो पता कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये topic मुझे छोड़ना है? You can know that only if you know the PYQs. Okay, so these are the first two things. Next thing is that when we see the questions, no, we tend to understand like, okay, this from this unit, from this topic, easy questions are usually asked. Say for example, if you take nutrition, in nutrition, vitamin related, most of the time deficiency related questions come, and in the deficiency related also the questions are very easy. It is between easy to medium. It never goes to difficult level. Okay, but if you go to liver topic, if you go to liver, even though the same thing is asked, the sequence of progression from hepatitis to cirrhosis, ये जो topic है, it is asked, it has been asked a lot of times, but it is a difficult question. Even though you have studied it a lot of times, single extra point मैं वो sequence में डाल दूँ, तो वो difficult question हो जाएगा. Okay, so this you will understand only if you see PYQs. And next you can set your expectations. जैसे it is even though we put a lot of hard work, time and everything, na, you'll always be good in one of the papers higher than the other. If you take me, I'm good in paper 2 more than paper 1. Okay, but how did I come to know this? Because I do PYQs of paper 1 also and paper 2 also. मुझे लग रहा है कि PYQs which are in paper 2, I'm able to attempt them, I'm able to score marks in them better. So मुझे ये समझ आएगा कि paper 2 is my strong point. Okay, so expectation set करने में, so I'll obviously expect more marks in paper 2. So expectation set करने में भी आपको PYQs की ज़रूरत होती है. On top of all of these things, once you finish your preparation, once you have done PYQs, everything, हम obviously attempt करेंगे ना जो questions already आया है. We'll time ourselves, we'll sit and do the PYQ papers. This will help you a lot in time management. Okay, because you have already studied the topics. At the end तो आपको topics के बारे में तो knowledge PYQ से नहीं मिलेगा, but you will be able to do the proper time management because you have limited time with you for the exam, right? So consolidating, first things we'll know what is frequently asked, second thing what is not asked, so which we can delete out, third thing is that difficult, easy, medium, difficult, that you can assess, then जो expectations हमको set करना होगा that you can do easily when you study PYQs next, and also regarding time management. Okay, these are the most important points why you have to study PYQs. Now, as I told you, we'll see a few examples regarding the types of PYQs. Okay, we'll see both the topics together. मतलब PYQs का types क्या है and how to solve, what is the technique which is used to solve those particular type of PYQs. Okay, totally 6 तरीका questions आता है, like simple, combination, match the following, assertion and reason, like that. There are 6 types. One by one we'll go to all these types and I'll tell you the technique which is used for solving those questions. Okay, so I have taken one example. I'm not going to cover all the subjects, but just for an example I'm giving. Okay, so first type of PYQ का है, it is a very simple one, simple MCQs, that is multiple choice question. एक question आपको पूछा जाएगा, 4 options होंगे, 4 में सिर्फ एक ही correct option होगा that you have to select. Okay, the thing is, ये जो क्वेश्चन है ना, ये दिखने में बहुत आसान लगेगा. इट लुक लाइक इट्स वेरी इजी, यू कैन इजीली डू इट एंड ऑल, बट दिस इज द मोस्ट ट्रिकीस्ट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन बिकॉज यहाँ पे हम गेस वर्क लगा नहीं सकते हैं. द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ गेस वर्क इज वेरी वेरी लेस इन दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन. यू हैव टू नो द सब्जेक्ट, you have to know what is LEED, what is NEOSH, what is MNRE, then only you will be able to answer this question. So for this question, first thing obvious है that you have to have subject knowledge. Second one, it will look simple, so don't get deceived. थोड़ा सा सोच के आंसर इसका लिख देना. And either you will be 100% right or you will be 100% wrong in such type of question. In a few questions, in this question तो हम guesswork लगा नहीं सकते हैं. Okay. But in a few questions just which can be related topics like CSRI, MNRE, NEOSH, LEED, HRO, it's not related in any way. These are just random things which have the NTA has given. But in a few questions, you will get related options. Okay. वैसा related options जब आता है ना, then a little bit of elimination you can use and you can use a little bit of smart guess also. So first type of question क्या है? Simple MCQs. Just there will be a simple question, 4 options. Out of the 4 options you have to choose one. Okay, let us see the question also in this time only. Why to leave it like that? So in this, what they have asked, green building certification से related, which is the organization करके they have asked you. Now solving का तरीका तो मैंने बता दी. When you study this, how will you study? So इसका आंसर क्या है? LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environment Design. This is the correct answer. Green Building Certification के related जो organization है, that is LEED. Now when you study PYQs, in case आप में, there are few people I think which are there in the meeting now who have not purchased PYQs from us, from LCA. It's okay. If you're going to study by yourself, it's completely fine. But उसका notes बनाना भी अलग तरीका है. Okay. So now what you will do, LEED तो आंसर है, तो you'll get it in your answer key only. But what about the other 3 options? You have to study about them also, correct? Maybe next time, instead of the same question, maybe they'll ask you MNRE का full form क्या है? What is the full expand MNRE? Simple question, expand MNRE. They can ask like that also. So only if you study all the 4 options, you will be able to answer the next time when they ask some question related to this same question. Okay, so in case if you have purchased PYQs, it's okay because we have done that work for you. But if you are going to do PYQs by yourself, please note down कर लो, जितना भी options है, whatever difficult options they are, you have to study them. You have to study all the 4 options. Okay, not just the expansion, you have to study the establishment here also. If required, you have to study what is their main functionality also. Okay, in this we have not given the main functionality यहाँ पे because it will become too lengthy, so I had not added that functionality part. So I'm again repeating, simple questions के हम क्या करेंगे, चारों ऑप्शंस पढ़ेंगे. इन दिस क्वेश्चन 4 ऑप्शन वी हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड व्हाट इज द एक्सपेंशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन एंड व्हाट इज द ईयर ऑफ एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ओके, सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन. You have any doubt? Not in the question but in the type of question. What is this type of question and how to solve it, and what is the technique used to solve it? Let's go one by one so that we don't get confused. Please answer if you would understood yes, you do not understand no. Okay, now first one is done. Simple MCQs which you can easily understand. If you know the subjects, it's easy to answer this. If you don't know the subject, you have to use a little bit of elimination and then you have to use smart guess. Okay, so the second type of question which is there, it is combination options. Okay, please have a look of this question which is given here. So यहाँ पे क्या पूछा है, डायबिटीज का मेन सिम्टम्स क्या है करके यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन है. Okay, so they have given you 5 options, but वो जो 5 options है, from that 3 are correct. Okay, this is very similar to the simple PYQ, but in here we do combination of options. Okay, so let me explain this the technique to finish this first, like how to solve it, and then we'll go to the actual question. Okay, so to solve this type of question, what you can do it in 2 ways. Okay, first thing is that जो भी यहाँ पे 5 options है, the 5 options which are given here, from this try to find one option that you know is पक्का correct, that you know is 100% it is correct. Let me go through. Polyuria है, glossitis है, acidosis है, tachycardia है, nocturia है. Okay, now I very well know diabetes का. Can anyone tell me what are the 3 important like symptoms of diabetes? Poly करके आता है. You should know this. In this stage, you should know this.
Polyuria, polydipsia,
Polyphagia.
That's right. But next time, please try to type it out. I prefer typed content. You're correct. So now, anybody who has studied the very basics of diabetes also, they will know these 3 options. Correct. So मुझे पक्का ये पता है कि polyuria is one correct answer. Okay. But problem ये question में what A is there everywhere. Okay, A option is in code 1 also, code 2 also, 3 also, 4 also. Okay, so in this question, it is better to go by the second way. Okay, I'll find one option which is, I pakka know it is completely unrelated to diabetes. Okay, now I know polyuria is definitely related to diabetes, but problem ये हो गया कि वो जो polyuria है, it is there in all the codes. It is mentioned in all the codes. So I'm going by the second technique. I'll find an option. I'll find an option which is definitely not related to diabetes. So let's go through. Polyuria, I know. Glossitis, I'm not sure. Acidosis, नहीं हो सकता. Maybe हो सकता, but I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just thinking from a student's point of view. Acidosis, I'm not very sure, क्योंकि जब हम diabetes की बात करते हैं, only in the final complication stage, we speak about ketosis and then metabolic acidosis and all. So I'm not very sure. But tachycardia देख रही हूँ, not very sure. Nocturia also not very sure. Let's take it like that. But जो glossitis है ना, this glossitis you have studied somewhere else. Do you remember where? It is in vitamin B deficiency. Okay, vitamin B1 B2 के बीच में ये glossitis comes. It is tongue inflammation. ITIS मतलब inflammation. Glossitis is tongue inflammation. So in no way I could relate diabetes to tongue inflammation. So maybe glossitis is not a correct answer. That should come. Okay, so let us see. Glossitis is a B option. Let's see in which and all codes I can see glossitis. First code में है, second code में glossitis mentioned है. So इसका obviously what it means that code 1 is also wrong, code 2 is also wrong. Now in my hand I have only 2. Third option है, third code है और fourth code है. Between these two, only one is correct. Okay. Now above this, if you are not able to think, you are not able to do anything. आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, आप यू हैव रीच्ड दिस स्टेज, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ ऑप्शन तक यू हैव रीच्ड, बट you don't know what to do. What you can do is, number one, you can just click any one of them, either 3 or either 4. There is a 50% chance that you will click the correct answer. Okay, this is one option. Second option is that just try to see each and every option which is given here. So third mein A, C, D hai. So A matlab polyuria, yeah, I'm very sure. Then C, acidosis, and D, tachycardia is there. Next is what is there in fourth option, polyuria is there, acidosis is there, nocturia is there. Now try to do just a basic smart guess, you don't need so much of subject knowledge and all. Tachycardia, cardia matlab something related to heart maybe. Okay, nocturia, uria, when we see it, something related to like urine production, or it can be related to kidney function or like that. So just think, diabetes is related to which system more? Heart, I'm not very sure. There are obviously complications related to heart, but then actual system जो diabetes से more related है, that is from basic knowledge, it is kidney. Okay, because in urine glucose is released when a person is having diabetes, their urine has a lot of glucose presence and all. Okay, so if you do a smart guess here, possibly the answer should be option D. Okay, A, C, E, that is polyuria, acidosis, and nocturia. Okay, this is the way you have to go for combination type questions. So two techniques है इसमें, not each of them will apply. You cannot use both the techniques, but there are a few questions जिसमें आप एक टेक्निक यूज करके दूसरे को क्रॉस के चेक कर सकते हो. Okay, so what you will do, first you will find an option that you 100% is sure is correct. You will find the codes which contain that particular option, or you will find the codes which do not contain that option and you will delete it. Okay, when you keep on eliminating and finally use a little bit of your brain, you can get the correct answer. Did you get this combination option question? Guesswork is very easy in combination type questions है ना. Guesswork is very very easy compared to simple PYQs. Simple PYQs में guess करना बहुत difficult होता है क्योंकि only 25% chances होगी वहाँ पे, because out of the 4 options randomly आप एक option choose करोगे तो only 25% chances there ना that it will be right, but here the chances will be 50% if you use a little bit of brain also. Okay, now let's go to the third type of question. Again, something which is more frequently asked, sequence and arrangement. So what they will do, they'll give you a sequence of steps, or it can be different stages of a development. It can be anything, it can come all. In nutrition also this type of question come, HD also, textiles also, in all subjects this type of question come. So what you have to do is that they'll give you 5 or 6 options, और 5 or 6 options को आपको ascending या descending order में arrange करना होगा. Okay, now this question is very interesting, this particular type of question, क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी guess work करना बहुत easy होता है. It is very easy. Okay, but obviously आपको थोड़ा सा subject knowledge होना चाहिए. Without that तो you cannot solve this type of questions. So before coming to the technique, I'll explain you. Okay, each and every, sorry, I did not explain the diabetes question, right? Yeah, I forgot. So I'll just tell you what each and every option means. So polyuria means increased urine production, जो very characteristic feature है diabetes का. Glossitis is tongue inflammation, swollen and inflamed tongue को हम glossitis बोलते हैं. Then it is acidosis. Acidosis is increased presence of H+ ions, that is hydrogen ions in the blood. You can also say the blood has become more acidic in nature. Okay. Next is tachycardia. Tachycardia मतलब heart beat जो है ना, if it increases 100 beats per minute, we call it as tachycardia. Okay. Next is nocturia. Nocturia is increased urine production during the night time. Okay, this is also a feature of diabetes. If you see people who have diabetes, they tend to not drink water at the night time so that they can decrease the amount of like visits to the washroom so that they can sleep properly. Okay, so these are the things that I was supposed to mention. So just click here now. Next, yeah, in sequence, let's see what each and every step means. Okay, Singing मतलब when we have this fiber loose fibers जो first initial process textile production में initially हमको मिलता है ना fibers, उसमें hairy छोटा छोटा सा structures होते हैं that we burn in order to get a very smooth and lustrous fiber particle. Okay, वही process को हम singing बोलते हैं. Next is desizing. Desizing, just divide the word, just give me a minute. Yeah. So in desizing, what we do, just divide the word into two, D plus sizing, that is removing the sizing. Okay, size material, it's kind of a starch material which we are applying to the woven fabric to give it kind of stiffness. Okay, sizing. So the process of removing that sizing, we call it as desizing. Okay, next is scoring. Scoring process simply मैं बताऊं तो naturally जो impurities होते हैं ना in the fibers, we remove that. That process is called as scoring. I'm not going deeply into this subjects because obviously you will study it from the PYQ PDF. Next is bleaching. Bleaching process में हम naturally जो pigments present होते हैं in fibers, we try to bleach off them to get to make it easier to spread the dye properly in the fiber. Okay. Next is mercerizing. Mercerizing, it's a kind of a treatment which is given to mostly cellulosic material. This helps in improving the properties of the fiber. It can help to increase the dye uptake in the fiber, the smoothness of the material. All these things can be improved by using mercerizing. आपको ये point याद में रखना है कि mercerizing एक treatment होता है, okay, which is usually done at the end of the any type of cellulosic material production. Okay. Now I'll tell you how to solve this question. So first thing what you have to do is try to find out कि इसमें first क्या आया, what will be the first step, or you can find out what will be the last step. Okay, singing, descoring, bleaching, desizing, mercerization. Okay, mercerization here is a final treatment which is given to cellulosic material. जब पूरा process हो जाएगा, at the end we give this treatment. Okay, so if you just knew this alone, आपको सिर्फ इतना पता था that mercerization एक treatment होता है, that we do it at the end. If you know that much also, you'll get your answer. Just check in which code mercerization is given at the end. Okay, mercerization is given in option B. Okay, there will be a few questions जिसमें आपको beginning ढूंढना होगा, like first option ढूंढना होगा. So try to first find the beginning, try to find the end. If you are not able to find either beginning or end, you can use one also, like सिर्फ beginning और सिर्फ end. इसमें सिर्फ से end से आपको option मिल जाएगा. But there will be questions जिसमें 2 or 3 options में same beginning है, same end है. This will also happen. Definitely in a few questions this will also happen. But what you will do in this type of question is पहले तो at least 1 or 2 options will get eliminated. When you do this beginning and end ka type na, 1 or 2 options you will already eliminate. So similar like the last time we saw, you will be just trying to find out ki whether this or that. You will have only 2 options left. So if you don't have time, very end mein ho aapka, like in your exam writing session, if you're at the very end, just click any one of them. 50% again chances hai ki that you will get the correct answer, but you have time hai to sit and think and do a very smart guess. Okay, this type of questions are little more tricky when it comes to nutrition. Only if you do a lot of MCQs, if you do a lot of PYQ papers, you'll be able to get this technique. Again, I'm saying, even if you study each and every question ki yehi technique hai, wahi technique hai karke, if you study theoretically, but if you do not attempt mocks, it's going to be of no use. Okay, learn, then you have to revise, then you have to practice when it comes to this. Okay, so answer for this is obviously option B. Okay, option B is the correct answer because mercerization happens at the very end. The only option which has E at the end of the code is B. So code B is the correct answer. Okay, I have given you one more example for sequence and arrangement type question. Just have a look of this. Okay, I have already highlighted the correct answer, or else I could have asked you कि क्या पहले आएगा क्या बाद में आएगा. Just have a look of this question. मैं explain नहीं कर रही हूँ इसको. We are not studying. We are just seeing the types and techniques to solve them. Okay. Just have a look of this question and this. Okay, let us see. So in like जैसे मैंने पहले बताई थी ना कि आपको few questions में beginning और end दोनों same होगा. See here code number 1 and code number 3 ये दोनों में option B beginning option है, option D is the ending option. Even if you, I'll just don't use this technique in many questions. Only if you don't know, use this technique. If you see that there are a few questions in which two options have the same beginning and the same end, it is most likely that among the two one is correct answer. In case आपको कुछ भी पता नहीं है, nothing, you don't know anything about that question, but आपको options में दो questions almost same दिख रहा है तो among the two any one will be correct answer. You can do a smart guess there, but please don't use this thing. Only is use this only if you don't know the topic. Okay, बिल्कुल आपको पता ही नहीं, एक वर्ड भी समझ नहीं आ रहा, then only you have to use this technique. क्या टेक्निक है? ऑप्शंस बिल्कुल सेम लगेगा, दो ऑप्शन दो कोड्स में, among the two possibly one will be correct. Okay, but this is just blindfoldedly you're doing the answer, so it may not be correct all the time. समझ आया मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ? Are you trying understanding what I'm trying to say? Okay, so let's go to the next one, assertion and reason. Many people find it difficult to do this assertion and reason type questions. One thing is maybe because you did not study that subject properly, or second thing is that maybe you're not using the technique properly. Okay, now while solving assertion and reason type question, obvious point ये है कि आपको subject knowledge होना चाहिए. Please don't think कि I'm trying to demotivate you. It's not like that. What you do when you see assertion and reason type question, in case आपको वो subject के बारे में knowledge नहीं है, the topic which is being spoken about in that assertion and reason, if you don't know the subject knowledge at all, then leave that AR question, move to the next question. I'm not telling वहाँ पे answer मत करो करके मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ, but don't waste your time in that question. Go to the next one. We can attempt this A and R at the end. क्योंकि A and R questions में problem क्या होता है ना? It tries to get on your ego. आपको लगेगा कि I'll try to find the answer, I'll think I'll get the answer. You will not realize how much time you waste for A and R question. You just think. We don't even get the correct answer when you don't know the subject. So it's better question छोड़ दो, go to the next one, finish everything, and at the end you can answer this A and R question. Okay, so let's see what is a technique to solve this. So first you have to see the assertion. Sorry, I have made a small mistake here. Reason होना चाहिए यहाँ पे. Yeah. Okay. So first read the assertion. Assertion correct या नहीं. You have to either you can choose assertion or reason. It depends on you only. Either assertions ले लो या reason ले लो. पढ़ के देखो आपको correct लग रहा है कि नहीं. Whether it is correct or not. If you are able to find one of them as correct or wrong also, you will be able to eliminate two options. जैसे यहाँ पे देखो. Assertion में क्या लिखा है? Bay windows project outward from the face line of a wall of a building. I have given you an example here. This is a bay window. Okay. So bay window it goes outward. जो building का face wall होगा, from that it goes outward. Okay. उसी को हम bay window बोलते हैं. So I know this since मुझे ये पता है तो I'm okay. Assertion is correct. So I'll go to the options. Assertion is correct करके सिर्फ दो ही options है. Option 1 and option 3. So it is obvious that you can eliminate option number 2 and option number 4. Okay. Again, if you're not able to get, click any one among 1 or 3. 50% chances are there that you will get the correct answer. But still, if you just think of the bay window in your brain, if you have seen this, obviously, for especially interior designing related questions, try to visualize them, and especially related to assertion and reason, because only if you visualize them, you're able to get whether the reason is correct or not. Theory knowledge, like which just theory knowledge, you cannot answer this interior declaration questions. So we are imagining this bay window in our brain, and then you read the reason. It is introduced with a view to provide an increased floor area to allow more seating. Just think, we are just projecting the window outside. We are not increasing the bottom, that is the floor area here. Most likely, this bay window people use, usually these bay windows are used in big houses like bungalow type houses होते हैं ना, वहाँ पे use होता है. They put this so that you can see the outside world properly. बाहर का जो garden है या बाहर का जो play area, whatever is there, to see that they put this bay window with a better view. Okay. If you just imagine and think and use your brain also, you should understand that reason is not correct. Okay, यहाँ पे जो option 1 will become correct. But if you don't know, if you're not able to get, सिर्फ assertion आपको पता है कि it is correct. So either 1 or either 3, either 1 or 3 will be the correct answer. So between these two, you can click 1 and come. This is type 1 in assertion and reason. So पहले क्या करेंगे? We'll read the assertion, or you can read the reason, anyone. You will find it whether it is correct or not. From it, whether it is correct or not, you will be able to eliminate 2 irrelevant options. Then you will reach at the final answer. Okay. Now this another type in assertion and reason, in which this point of correct explanation also comes. Okay. This is more tricky than just an assertion and reason question, because in this you have to do 3 different things. So first to same ही है, like you'll read the assertion, you'll find out whether it is correct or not. Assertion is correct or not. That you will find out. Okay. Let's just go with this question. Assertion में क्या लिखा है? Calcium requirements during lactation are higher than during pregnancy. If you have studied the basics of RDS, I have given 4 or 5 RDS which are very important. जैसे calcium हो गया, iron हो गया, zinc हो गया, and vitamin A, all these things, zinc also. These things are the most important, and folic acid, obviously. Folic acid. All these things are the most important ones. So if you studied at least for lactating women and pregnant women, you will know कि pregnant women का जो calcium requirements है, that is lesser compared to a lactating women. Okay. So assertion, it is easy in this case to find out whether it is correct or not. Okay. But problem यहाँ पे ये है कि इसमें option 2, option 3, option 4. In all the 3 options, assertion is true. Okay. Even NTA knows that these questions are assertion which is given here is very easy. So they have made it more difficult. Option A, option 2, 3, 4. Among 2, 3, 4, any one should be the correct answer here. Okay. Now go to the reason. As lactating women lose bone mass during breastfeeding because less estrogen is produced. Okay. Now you don't know whether the reason is correct or not. What we can do is that assertion का जो sentence है, read it, add a because at the end of the sentence. Calcium requirements during lactation are higher than during pregnancy because lactating women lose bone mass. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Like, just read it in your brain एक बार. I'll give you little time. Just read the sentence. Calcium requirements during lactation are higher than during pregnancy because lactating women lose bone mass. सही लग रहा है ये? This sentence. Just read it by yourself. एक बार just पढ़ के देखो. Why is everyone saying no? Can anyone give me the reason?
Ma'am, pregnant women need more lactation. Like calcium requirement is more during pregnancy as compared to lactation period.
No, dear. Please check RDA 2020 or even RDA 2010 also. Lactation period, it needs more calcium than pregnancy. Assertion is तो obviously correct. Assertion is definitely, I told you already na, assertion is correct. Pregnant women ka calcium requirements is 1000 mg if I'm not wrong, and for lactating women is 1200 mg per day.
Okay, ma'am.
So what I'm trying to ask is that let's not assume it's actually correct only. As assertion ka jo sentence hai that is correct. Now what I'm asking you is the sentence that I'm saying right now making sense? Calcium requirements during lactation are higher than during pregnancy because lactating women lose bone mass. Let's leave the remaining sentence also. Lactating because lactating women lose more bone mass during breastfeeding. I'm asking यहाँ पे कुछ मीनिंग निकल रहा है कि नहीं? From this angle, मुझे लग रहा है कि option 3 should be correct. Okay. Now I'll explain you many. I think most of you are having doubt, like explanation is wrong करके. Let me explain it. Actually, explanation भी correct ही है. Reason is correct and it is the explanation is also correct only. See, what happens is that during the first 6 months of pregnancy, first 6 months of lactation, women actually do lose their bone mass. Around 5 to 7% of bone mass is lost. But once this lactation ends, this bone mass is usually gained back. So net loss ऐसा कुछ नहीं दिखेगा. You will not see that there is any kind of a net bone mass loss which is seen. So it is not that big of a matter, but it does happen. Since इसमें net loss नहीं हो रहा है, so we cannot say that यहाँ पे there is no bone loss only. There is bone loss, but it gets replaced once lactation stops. So in the reason two things are there. One is, do lactating women lose bone mass or not? Yes, they do lose bone mass. But ये bone mass loss होने का why it happens, why this bone loss happens. If you have studied the main functions of estrogen, even in our endocrine system, this PDF which I have given to you also, along with sexual development, estrogen का दूसरा function है bone development and bone growth maintain करना. If you have not read that point, estrogen has a very important role to play in bone health also. So when less estrogen is produced during the first 6 months, or mostly first 6 months here, because after that we start complementary feeding. So for the first 6 months, women do lose bone mass because less estrogen is produced in the body. In this question, assertion is also right, reason is also correct, and it is the correct explanation also. In fact, they have given 2 correct explanations in this. You can read it in 2 ways. Calcium requirements during lactation are higher than during pregnancy because lactating women lose bone mass. Or I can read it in this way also. Calcium requirements during lactation are higher than during pregnancy because less estrogen hormone is produced. Like that also I can read. Okay, but most of the questions में सिर्फ एक ही correct explanation होगा in the reason. So this is kind of a tricky question. Like purposefully मैंने यहाँ पे डाला है. What is the take home from this question is that because. Do not forget this word because. Just try to attach this word because at the end of the assertion sentence and read the reason as a continuous sentence along with that. Okay, just write this word because under quotes. Okay. The second type of assertion and reason type question. Now, next the most important one. This also comes very repeatedly in all the subjects. Match the following. Okay. Most of the time match the following में 4 या 5 ही आते हैं. In this there are 6. It is from food science. Now, if I'm there in your place and this question is there in front of me, I'll just try to go through the list A and list B and try to find any terms जो मुझे already पता है, which I already very well know. Okay, interfering I don't know, coating yeah maybe, clarifying not much, emulsifying I know this very well, then thickening okay, leavening okay, but much I know. But emulsification मुझे लग रहा है कि it is something that I know very frequently, I read very frequently. So emulsifying से related जो food item होगा, that I'll try to find out. Okay. So emulsification, immediately the first thing that comes to my mind is any dish which can involve egg yolk. Okay. So I just go through and I'm able to find minus. I think most of the times when we study example of emulsification, the main example which is given is minus. So it's obviously obvious है. So option D का 2 होगा. List in list 1 option D को list 2 में I have to match it with 2. Okay. Just see here down in the option. Option number D ka 2 is given is only in which one? Code number A. In code A only, option D has 2. Actually, though A, B, C, D, F, it is moved a little to the right side. So it should have been little this side. So only code A is there. Jahan pe emulsification is matched with mayonnaise. Okay. In this question, easy ho gaya tha. Actually, just in one single try only answer aa gaya. But in not all questions. Yes, correct. Option D also it's there. Right. Okay, super. This is better actually. Now, what we will do, okay, now I know either option A or option D can be correct. Okay, now I'll try to understand what are the other things that I know. A little bit at least. Emulsification and minus, मुझे 100% पता है कि this is correct. Okay, now I'm going through other things and seeing which leavening or clarifying something should be related. Okay, I think जो coating है option B, coating से related, I'll just go through all the content. पेस्ट्री नहीं हो सकता, आइसक्रीम में क्या कोटिंग होगा? नो, सूप में भी कोटिंग नहीं होगा. कटलेट when we do cutlet we put a layer of breadcrumbs around it, है ना? So that we can say that is kind of a coating. Cake may be obviously no coating, mine is already gone, and custard also no. So only one food तो जो coating से related हो रहा है, I think it is cake. Okay, so option B should be matched with C. B related with 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm also solving with you. Maybe I can go wrong also. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'll find. Option B. Yeah, sorry, cutlet, not 3. Yeah, cutlet. I wrongly say. देखिए मैंने. Okay, B should be matched with 4. So where is 4? Yeah, only I think option A 4 है. That's what I'm saying. See, I am solving this question from my point of view. Okay, मुझे coating पता था and emulsification पता था. Maybe you will know clarifying. Maybe you will know leavening. Okay, so it depends. What you have to do is find one option which you 100% you are very sure. Try to find yes. See, I'm saying for Priyanka, thickening and custard are easy lag raha hai. For 1 minute. For Srishti, leavening and cake सही लगा था. So you have to find जो आपको easy लग रहा है, जो आपको 100% पता है. You don't have to sit and match each and every option to list number 2. It's a waste of time. Okay, just find 2 things which you very perfectly know and just click the option. This will save you a lot of time and it will help you in elimination also. So this is related to match the following. Basically जो options यहाँ पे दिया है ना, the full question is related to egg, the main functions of egg only. I'll be uploading this I'll be uploading this thing in YouTube or maybe in your classroom. You can go through this. जो लोग already PYQs you have bought, this is there in your PDF. You can study from that as well. Okay, I'll just tell which is what. Interfering agent जो ice formation होता है, small crystal formation, it helps in avoiding in ice cream. It is used as a clarifying agent in soup. It is used as a leavening or a foaming agent in cakes. It is used as a thickening agent in custards. Then it is used as a coating agent in cutlets, and then binding agent. 1 minute. Yeah, it is used as a binding agent for what is left here. Binding agent in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Binding is not given here, but sir has given us an example here. Okay. Now, these are the 5 main types of questions. Okay. Simple PYQs, combination type question. Then there is sequence or arrangement. In assertion and reason type, there are 2 different types. Next is the last one which we saw, match the following. And frequently in the last few years, like from 2019, repeatedly they're asking 20 marks from reading comprehension in paper 2. This is very easy to score marks because जो reading comprehension आपको paper 1 में आता है ना, that is at times it is asked difficult also, but in paper 2 they ask it in a very easy way. But last time 2021 एग्जाम में ये प्रॉब्लम हो गया था कि इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में हाफ पैराग्राफ वाज मिसिंग, बट देन दे हैव गिवन मार्क्स फॉर दैट. सो the 20 marks which you can get from reading comprehension, 10 or 20, it depends, okay, but mostly they ask for 20 marks, which is asked from reading comprehension. Try to grab it fully, okay, it will help you increase your marks, number one, and it will not need any time. Hardly in 3 minutes 4 minutes you can solve all the 10 questions, okay. Now if you are someone who know English and Hindi both, you can read English and Hindi also though, solve in any one of the languages and cross check by using the other language, okay. This will help you increase the chances of getting all the 20 marks. But if you're someone who can read only Hindi or only English, it's okay, you will also get the correct answer, but it is an extra layer of protection if you do both English and Hindi, okay. Try to understand the paragraph properly, then only you will go to questions. A few people say that you go to question, read the question and then find the answer in the paragraph, but that is not correct way. Try to read the paragraph, understand the paragraph, then try to answer the questions, okay. So these are the main types of questions which are asked in your UGC-NET exam and the technique which you have to use to get the correct answer, okay. Now speaking about time management, maybe it is little early to teach you about time management, but only if you know these things before you start solving papers of PYQ, it will be useful for you. First thing is that at least once in every 2 days try to attempt a mock, but this you can do after finishing your subject, okay. Either paper 1 or either paper 2, जब आपका syllabus नहीं, जब आपका important subjects खत्म हो गया, important topics खत्म हो गया है ना, then you can start solving your PYQs. At least एक paper solve करना, either paper 1 or paper 2 का. If you do both also it's great, but at least one in every 2 days. Second thing, this why I'm asking you to do this is because then only आपको आदत पड़ेगा, it will become a habit, you know. Paper 1 if you take, it has to be finished in 40-45 minutes. Paper 2 has to be finished in 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes max to max. Then only you will get time to, you know, revise each and every question that you have answered. Second one is that, as I told you before, when you study, you will understand which is your stronghold. There are people who are strong in both paper 1 and paper 2, but still most of us are either strong in paper 1 or either strong in paper 2. If you take me, I'm strong in paper 2. So what I'll do after you go to the exam, start doing paper 2, finish paper 2, then go to paper 1. Okay. So it depends. Maybe for you it is paper 1 is easy, so you want to do paper 1 also, it's completely fine. And you can switch between papers during exam. Many people have this query key, do I have to finish paper 1 fully, then only I have to go to paper 2, aisa kuch. No, nothing like that. It is, the screen is open in front of you. Section 1, section karke, there are 2 tabs. You wherever, if you want to go to paper 1, just click on section 1. If you want to go to paper 2, go to section 2. You can switch and change in between the two, but my preference would be try to find your strong paper, finish that paper completely, and then go to the second one. Okay, this is one very, very important thing. This you have to do during practicing. Do not spend more than 1 minute per question. Okay, if you know the math already, we have total. Yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I had a question.
Can we keep the questions to the end, Srishti?
Okay, ma'am.
I'm almost done. Just 5 more minutes. I'm done. Then only I'm answering all people. I'll answer all your questions. So do not spend more than 1 minute per question. But paper 1 ka maths and DA jo questions hai, you can spend more time on those. It's okay. But try to stick to this 1 minute mark. If any question is taking more than 1 minute, just skip the question. Skip the question. Go to the next question. Finish everything and come back to the other question. Okay, next, as the same thing, like if you are not able to solve one question in a minute, it's confusing you, or maybe you're not very sure hai, to skip karke important questions that you know very well, solve karke वापस यहाँ पे आ जाना. Next, this is my personal suggestion. It depends on you, but this is ideal to finish your whole exam in somewhere between 1.5 hours to 1 hour 45 minutes. Only if you do this, only if you have this mark when you do PYQs, if you're sticking to this timeline at your home, in your convenience, if you're able to do a paper in 1 hour 45 minutes, when you go to a different place जहाँ पे आपको you don't know anybody, you are in that panic mode for the exam, there it will take a little bit more time over there, maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 hour 15 minutes वहाँ पे आपको लगेगा. So try to stick to this 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 40 minutes to finish both paper 1 and paper 2 while you do practice these mocks. Okay. Next, only if you finish this in 1 hour 30 minutes or 45 minutes, आपको time मिलेगा for what? To revise whatever you have given the answer, to check if the answer is correct or not. You have to at least check it once or twice so that you are very sure. Okay. Next, since there is no negative marking, there is literally no negative marking in UGC-NET exam, so do not leave any question unattempted. जैसे मैंने बताया था, आप टेक्निक यूज करोगे तो you can eliminate 2 options very easily in most of the questions. Out of the other 2, at least एक क्लिक करके आ जाना. Don't leave any question. एक क्लिक करके आ जाओगे तो भी 50% chances है that you will get the correct answer. Okay, so just a glance through. At least solve one paper in every 2 days. Second one is that either paper 1 or paper 2, find which is easy for you and finish that first. To no more than 1 minute per question. It is okay to skip the questions and come back to them. Finish in 1 hour 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Do 2 revisions of your answers. Then do not leave any question unattempted because negative marks are not there in UGC-NET exam. Okay. So now I have told you, from beginning only I'm saying you, if you have not purchased the PYQs of LCI, it's okay, you can do this PYQs by yourselves also, but please पूरा options पढ़ लेना and content related to that particular option भी पढ़ लेना. If you have purchased PYQs, it is very easy for you since we have done all the hard work for you. Do not skip anything which is there in the PYQ file. Not even a single sentence, a single word. Do not skip anything. Read everything and understand and study your PYQs. Okay. So with this, I'm closing this session. I'm open to questions.